Once upon a time in a quirky little town called Giggleville, there lived a boy named Silly Sammy. Now, Sammy was not your typical kid. He had a talent for turning the most ordinary situations into hilarious adventures. One sunny morning, Sammy decided to go to the grocery store with his mom, Mrs. Johnson. As they strolled through the aisles, Sammy spotted a pile of watermelons. He couldn't resist the temptation. He picked one up and said, "Hey, Mom, watch this." With a mischievous grin, he dropped the watermelon on the floor. It burst into a colorful explosion of juicy goodness. Shoppers nearby gasped, and Mrs. Johnson could only shake her head, trying not to laugh. Next, they headed to the pet store. Sammy had a fondness for animals, especially dogs. He spotted a parrot sitting on a perch and decided to have a chat with it. "Hello, Mr. Parrot. How's your day?" Sammy asked, with the parrot responding in a perfect imitation of Sammy's voice. "Hello, Mr. Parrot. How's your day?" Sammy's eyes widened in surprise, and he burst into laughter, entertaining everyone in the store. Their last stop was the park, where Sammy's antics continued. He climbed onto the swing, then shouted, "Ready, set, blast off," as he propelled himself into the sky. Laughter echoed throughout the park as Sammy swung back and forth, pretending to be an astronaut exploring the universe. As they left the park, Sammy spotted a puddle. Without hesitation, he jumped right in, splashing water everywhere. Passers-by couldn't help but chuckle at his carefree spirit. Finally, they returned home, and Mrs. Johnson couldn't help but ask, "Sammy, why do you always do such silly things?" Sammy thought for a moment and replied, "Well, Mom, life is too short not to have fun. Laughter is the best way to make friends and create memories." Mrs. Johnson smiled, realizing that her son had a point. In Giggleville, Sammy's infectious laughter had made the town a happier place. And so, the misadventures of Silly Sammy continued, spreading laughter and joy wherever he went. For in the town of Giggleville, everyone knew that there was never a dull moment when Sammy was around, and that's what made life so wonderfully silly and fun.